Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to NFL predictions for the 2020 season versus that dude Brett. So, last week we took the lead again. We did 2 games better than Brett at 11-3 compared to his 9-5. That puts us up 2 games on the season. So we are now 146-1 to Brett's 98-48-1. Well, first person hit 100. Yay for me. So there's that. And then, I mean, this has been it's just been back and forth. It's been absolutely crazy. So we'll start reviewing the Thursday night game, and we'll go into Sunday's games. So, Thursday, the Arizona Cardinals played the Seattle Seahawks. Brett did pick the Cardinals, and I did pick the Seahawks. So, technically, as of this moment, I'm recording it, I am 3 games up on Brett. But we don't count that in our records on the season. Okay? So, as of the end of week 10, so as soon as Minnesota beat Chicago, that's what the game was. I had to think for a second. As soon as Minnesota beat Chicago, that was it. The week's over, and I ended up 2 games up. So, now I'm 3, but like I said, that doesn't reflect it in any records over there. So, it will show in the week 12 predictions, just not now. Alright, so with that said, we are going to get into the Sunday games. Now, I'm recording this Saturday night. I usually do either between Saturday night and Sunday morning. So, I may or may not get called into work Sunday morning. So for you guys, it's this morning. For me, it's tomorrow morning. I may or may not get called in. So I want to make sure I have this recorded and edited tonight, just in case I do get called in. Because if I get called in, I'm probably not going to have time to edit it. So figure, do it now, get it out of the way, just in case I get called in. So we have the Bengals at Washington. And this is going to be, I think it might be a close game. And I say that because Washington has a nice front 7. Their defense, the defensive line is very nice. Let me get my notebook where I have my picks. And they did just barely lose to the Detroit Lions last week. And Cincinnati got blown out by Pittsburgh. So usually a team gets blown out, they recover. So I'm picking the Bengals to recover and beat Washington. Falcons at Saints. Drew Brees, get well soon, bro. Taysom Hill is going to be starting. And here's the thing. Right? What tape do we have on Taysom Hill playing quarterback? Like, legit playing quarterback. Like, you have tape of his snaps and what he can do, but the guy's thrown 18 passes in the NFL. You're going pretty much back to his BYU tape. And the dude, I think, is like 30 years old, and he was undrafted at the age of 24. You're going at least 6 years back now. And you're looking at his BYU tape. So, had they started Jameis, it's, okay, at least we have his tape from Tampa, and you saw in the game what he could do versus, crap. I don't remember. Hold on one second. 49ers. There we go. So, you saw him play versus the Niners. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, but I am going to take the Saints here. Yes, Atlanta's done very well since firing their head coach and general manager, but I'm still taking the Saints. Steelers at Jags. This is similar to the Saints in that the starting quarterback for the Jags, you have very little tape on him. Starts with an L. I can't remember his name, actually. But Jake Leeton, something? I don't know. So you're very little tape on him, just like how you had very little tape on Garrett Gilbert. And that can play to the Jags' advantage, but I'm still taking my Steelers here. They're 9-0. At the end of this game, they should be 10-0, which is absolutely unreal. I mean, right now they're already guaranteed a winning season, because they can literally lose every single game from here on out. Very unlikely, but they could, in theory, lose every single game here on out, be 9-7, have a winning season, and because there's 7 playoff spots, they could still potentially make the playoffs. Like, that's unreal. Now, if they were to lose the rest of their games, slide into the 7th seed, and make the playoffs, I wouldn't feel very good about it. Not gonna lie. Patriots at Texans. Deshaun Watson, he's given the Patriots a little bit of trouble since coming into the league. But, and here's the but, he had DeAndre Hopkins. What does he not have anymore? DeAndre Hopkins. But the Patriots also don't have Tom Brady. Cam, now recovered from COVID's playing a little bit better. Patriots, a lot of defensive players opted out. I'm taking the Texans. I think they can barely, and I mean barely, squeak by the Patriots. But, and here's the but, I don't feel good about this game. I don't feel good about this pick. I don't like it. If you were to bet, stay away from it, because I think it can literally go either way. And I'm just going to say, I don't like this game. I don't like this pick. I don't know if I'd like it anymore if I pick the Patriots. I don't. Eagles at Browns. I am going to take the Browns. Eagles, Carson Wentz, they're just bad. Yes, the Browns are bad too, but they're not as bad. I mean, they're 6-3, but you look at the 2 of the best teams they faced in Baltimore and Pittsburgh, and they received a 38-6 and a 38-7 shellacking each time. So, yeah. I'm going to pick them to win this game. They can beat the bad teams. That's a given. And we have the Lions and the Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers here. Again, this is a game where I don't feel very good about it. Not much other to comment here. I know Swift's out with a concussion. That kind of plays into it. If they had DeAndre Swift, I'd probably take the Lions. But they don't. So, Panthers. Titans at Ravens. Yes. The Titans at Baltimore. Gee. When was the last time that happened? Alright. I'm picking the Ravens. I'm kind of doing this thing where I'm picking the Ravens and hoping I'm wrong. And it's kind of like a win-win situation, right? If they win, I pick them. But if they lose, yes, I was wrong. But the Ravens lost. It was like last week. New England. I picked the Ravens to beat the Patriots. And I was fairly confident in that pick. New England won. I was over the moon ecstatic. But I was wrong. But I didn't care. I didn't care. Brett picked the Ravens as well, so it's not like I lost or gained anything by picking them. Yeah, I gained a loss, but like, come on. Who thought the New England Patriots were going to beat Baltimore? Not many, if any. So, I mean, I'm going to pick them. Now, could Derrick Henry do exactly what he did last time versus them? Yes, he could. But I think last time they were, what were they, 13-3? 14-2 last year? Something like that? And it's, we're Baltimore. We can do anything we want. Blah, blah, blah. And you got your asses handed to you by Derrick Henry. So, there's that. God, I'm trying to fix my hair. It's not agreeing with me at all. I might have to get a hat. Where am I at? Oh, Jets and Chargers. Chargers, because Jets. And Dolphins at Broncos. I'm picking Tua. So, there was a thing where it's Tua-O, you know, because 2 and O, Tua-O. But I think Dolphins are going to win this game. Denver, they're a good team. Denver's So, I'm picking the Dolphins to win this one. Cowboys at Vikings. I am going to be taking the Vikings here. Now, I'm going to take the Vikings because of a few reasons. Yes, Andy Dalton's back, but he just spent a couple weeks out with a concussion and a couple more out because of COVID. And if we saw anything and learned anything from Cam, he may not be what we think he's going to be coming back. Yeah, it was concussion then COVID, I think. Because he got hit by the Washington player, John Bostic. Then his line didn't come to his rescue. That's a whole different thing. And then, so it was concussion, then COVID. Yeah. Okay. Because if it was COVID, then concussion, I could be like, he's had a couple weeks to recover from COVID. No. But also, you have Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and Dalvin Cook. You can't stop them all. And you may not stop any of them. And Justin Jefferson, oh my god, he is so good. I'm getting a hat. I'm sorry, I am getting a hat. My hair is not agreeing with me right now. Ugh. I'm trying to schedule a haircut. Just in case. 1, my hair's getting long, but 2, just in case. Because it's getting worse. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. It's getting worse. People are relaxing a little bit. So, Vikings. Packers at Colts. I am going to be taking the Packers. This is going to be a great game. I am thoroughly going to enjoy seeing this one. And I still think the Packers win. Also, Aaron Rodgers is my fantasy quarterback, so... Chiefs at Raiders. I'm taking the Chiefs here. They're coming off a bye. And yes, the Raiders beat them last time in Kansas City, and now you're in Vegas. But I still think the Chiefs can win this game. I do. Coming off a bye, it does wonders for you. And then finally, Monday Night Football. Rams at Buccaneers. I'm going to take the Buccaneers, but will I shed a tear if the Buccaneers and Tom Brady lose and the Rams win? No, I will not. I will not shed a single tear. Because that's another one of the teams where I'm picking them because I think they're going to win. And if they win, hooray, I was right. If they lose, yeah, I was wrong. But they lost. So, I mean, and then, here's a scenario, right? The Ravens. Okay, we're going to scroll back up really quick. Ravens, 6-3. Say you lose to Tennessee. Hypothetical, you lose. You're 6-4. Hypothetical, Pittsburgh wins. They're 10-0. Yes, the Ravens could win out, and the Steelers could lose out afterwards, and that makes you 12-4 to their 10-6. But really, how likely is that? You have to win this game in order to stay in the race for the AFC North. Otherwise, you're fighting for a wild card spot. And there's a theory I have. I just want to run it by y'all real quick before I end the video. Everyone says Lamar Jackson, he can beat good teams. He can. But it's the big games we have yet to see him win. 0-3 versus Kansas City. 0-1 versus Big Ben. Steelers, not Steelers without Big Ben. Steelers with Big Ben. And 0-2 in the playoffs. So that's 0-6, right? In his biggest games. They lose last week to New England. And then you have So like New England was a must-win game, right? You're 6-2. Pittsburgh wins and becomes 9-0, right? You can't afford to fall back because you only play Pittsburgh one more time. And yes, that would hand Pittsburgh a loss if you beat them Thanksgiving night. So that's next week, actually. So the Steelers and Ravens play each other in Pittsburgh Thanksgiving night. So you have, where it's a must win, much like, say, a playoff game or a game versus, a division rival or a conference rival like Mahomes. And you have, so it's a big game. They lost. I'm curious. These games are just going to get more and more important as Pittsburgh wins, say 10-0, 11-0, 12, whatever. Or hell, even if they go 10-0, say Baltimore beats them. That's 10-1, but even if you go, 10-1, 11-1, 12-1, 12-2, stuff like that. Those games are going to get progressively more important each and every single week. You have to win in order to keep up with Pittsburgh. You have to win to try to win the division. Are the Ravens about to drop, say, not even like they're 6-3. They're not going to go drop 7 games. But say they end the year 10-6. That means they closed out the year with a 4-3 record from here on out. Can you say Lamar Jackson can't win the big important games? Because the games got progressively more important. And like even take the game versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was, oh god, 6-0. No. Yeah, 6-0. 6-0. Baltimore was 5-1. The one loss to the Chiefs. So this is a big game. You can beat Pittsburgh, and then you have the tiebreaker, right? They went and lost. Okay, you won a couple more games. But Pittsburgh kept winning. The games got more important. I want to see what happens with Baltimore over the next 7 weeks of the season. Just had to do quick math. See what happens with Baltimore over the next 7 weeks of the season. That could tell you whether Lamar is the quarterback for you, or if he's just a great football player. Not a great quarterback, but a great football player. And that you'd be looking at, someone else in the next couple drafts. Like Lamar, he is a fantastic football player. He was the MVP for a reason. But he's not a great quarterback. Okay? And he has struggled to win these big games so far in his career. So I'm curious what's going to happen over the next 7 weeks. Okay? Now, they may go being 7-0. Then they're, 13-3, which is still a fantastic year. Okay, great. You're 13-3. Did you win the division? Are you a wild card team? What's going on? Because if you didn't, because whatever happens, 13-3, that gets you to the playoffs. I don't care who you are, whether you won the division or not. And plus also, if you didn't win the division at 13-3, oof. But like you take that, right? And it's does Baltimore go right into the playoffs and lose their first game? Whether it's the divisional or wild card. Do you go in there and lose your first game? These are valid questions, I think. I'm not criticizing Lamar, or, not harshly at least. I am asking questions. I am making hypothetical situations. And I'm using some proof. Like, we've seen him in his 6 biggest games go 0-6. Not to say he cannot beat good teams, because he can. We have seen him do it. But it's the big moments. So this is going to be interesting. Those are all my picks. I'm going to let what I said just sit and cook in the pot for a little bit. And we'll let it simmer. And we'll come back to it. You know, maybe not next week, but possibly the week after or a week after that. Especially, say, Pittsburgh wins, Baltimore wins. Let's go that. Doesn't or even if it doesn't matter who wins or who loses. Ravens at Pittsburgh, week 12. We'll see what happens in that game because that'll be a big game. Lamar's second game facing the Steelers with Big Ben. And we'll watch what happens. So, if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on. And let me know what you think of what I said down in the comments below. I'll see all you guys next video. Later.
Once I'm 7 years old, Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely.